Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram, once again back with you as promised on this Sunday's broadcast, which is going to again talk about the Indian Premier League matches 2020. First, before I start, I would like to tell my dear friends and subscribers and all those cricket crazy fans who have been enjoying my show. I do see that I'm receiving overwhelming support from you all. You're all coming up with your suggestions. I understand that. As you know, I actually do this cricket show for sheer passion. I do understand. I'm very happy to know that you're all supporting this, especially cricket Reddit community, a great supporter of this YouTube cricket show. I remember when I started this Cricket Happening show, I got hordes of supporters from Cricket Reddit. Cricket Reddit, I thought, has but the bulk of the subscribers of my YouTube are coming from Cricket Reddit. So I owe a big thanks to them, definitely. And I do see that I saw a lot of suggestions coming in from them, and they were very happy to see me on my cricket show. And I'm happy for all the praises that has been given to me on this cricket show. I thank you from the bottom of my heart here. But I have certain restrictions as well. But here I am to talk to you. And the only best thing that I could definitely implore all my cricket fans, friends, and subscribers to do is to popularize this cricket show of mine to whatever degree you can. As you know, today social media is quite big. And my presence, I don't have any presence on Facebook. I don't have any presence on Instagram. I'm not planning to probably. But again, if you feel that, if whatever, social media network platforms are there, if at all you want to give me the publicity, and if you're enjoying my show, you love it, please go ahead and, popularize my show. Go and put a word of mouth to everybody, your friends and relatives, and talk to them about this cricket show. And that's the best that you could do for me. I do see there are a lot of help coming in from your dear friends, subscribers. It's been overwhelming support. I was absolutely really got a pleasure of watching that everybody are trying to help me here. I just don't have words to thanks. Thank you very much. So let me not delay any time, because you love my cricket show. So let me have some nice talk with you for another 20 minutes here. So let's talk. So today, Indian Premier League 2020. Two matches. We are almost coming into the sort of a second last session of IPL, and we had two good matches today. The first match which was played was a very wonderful match that everyone was waiting for. Royal Challengers Bangalore taking on the CSK, and CSK definitely kept their hopes alive when they got the better of the RCB on a pitch which was much suited to the CSK bowlers, I thought, because it was all about taking the pace of the ball, and that's what the CSK bowlers did well, and also the batting clicked as well, and the spark was seen in the CSK today as they went on to hit the top team RCB, and RCB lost this match. In fact, Chennai Super Kings having a sort of a very convincing victory by 8 wickets, but little did they know that Rajasthan Royals, who were facing Mumbai Indians at Sheikh Zayed Stadium in Abu Dhabi, would go and get the better of the Mumbai Indians, even though the Mumbai Indians put up a very big score on the board of 195 for 5, and Rajasthan Royals, Ben Stokes, scoring his first century of the IPL and really playing only in the way that Stokes can ever play, showing that he's a world-class player. At the other end, Samson, who has been struggling after the initial burst of form that he showed in the first 3 matches, came into his own as well with some languid stroke making as he went on to a 50, and the Mumbai Indians score of 195 for 5 was made to look very small by the Rajasthan Royals, as Rajasthan Royals won by 8 wickets. And the reason that I say that Chennai Super Kings were very keenly watching this match, but they would have probably expected Mumbai Indians to put it across Rajasthan Royals, which was not to be, and that meant the first team to be knocked out of the Indian Premier League 2020 was the Chennai Super Kings, who have had a very tough Indian Premier League tournament so far. Probably the worst ever Indian Premier League tournament for the Chennai Super Kings. And Chennai Super Kings have been knocked out of the Indian Premier League 2020, unfortunately. Well, my commiserations to Chennai Super Kings, despite winning against the RCB. So let's get on to business here. The first game that I'm going to look at is Royal Challengers Bangalore taking on CSK. As I said, this match was being played on the same track in Dubai, where yesterday we saw an unbelievable finish to the game between Kings 11 Punjab and the other team, which was. I think it was. I'm just trying to figure out. I probably tried. Yeah, to Sunrisers Hyderabad, where we saw the Kings 11 Punjab, pulling off an unbelievable win and defending 126. And today, if you look at the card there, the Royal Challengers Bangalore were kept to 145 for 6 on the same track. And what was good about the Chennai Super Kings bowling on this day was they were actually, I mean, if you look at the Chennai Super Kings, they had probably given up and they had done a lot of experiments. They had brought in a young pacer who has always been warming the benches. He has played in some 2 Indian Premier League tournaments, and this was third Premier League Indian IPL that he was playing, but he has never got a chance to play in front of get into the middle. But today, this bloke, Manu Kumar, was given an IPL debut. Well, but let's talk about the Chennai Super Kings bowlers. I mean, RCB, as you know, is a very, very strong team. And this RCB team were kept to 145 for 6 of their 20 overs. And if you look at the bowling card, Chahar, 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 31. Monu Kumar, as I said, I'm told he's a medium pace bowler who swings the ball both ways, also has a very lethal Yorker as well. 2 overs, none for 20 for him. Sam Curran did a wonderful turn for himself today, shining with the ball. 3 overs, no matter, 19 runs and 3 wickets. Santon, for the first time, getting a game in the IPL. I mean, we all know Mitchell Santon is a wonderful, wonderful all-rounder. But today was the first game of IPL 2020 for Mitchell Santner. He did well. 4 overs, no maiden, 23. Imran Tahir, 4 overs, none for 30. Ravindra Jadeja, 3 overs, none for 20. Now the bowling, as I said, it was all about taking the pace of the ball. And that's what the Chennai Super Kings bowlers did in a very good way. They had a lot of slow bowlers and they took immense advantage out of it. So now let's have a look at the RCB card. If you look at the RCB card, it was Padikkal who made 22 of 21 deliveries, 2 4s and 1 6 in that. Aaron Finn's contribution being 15 of 11 balls with 3 boundaries. Now, this was a time when the score read 46 for 2 after the power play overs, 6.1 overs, and it was 46 for 2. Now came those 2 big guns, as we call them in RCB, the captain AB de Villiers, the captain Virat Kohli, at the other end was AB de Villiers. And what one saw here was that it was not easy. It was definitely not easy. Probably one thought that Kohli and de Villiers at the crease, and they also found the going very tough. As I said, the bowlers, the Chennai Super Kings bowlers, definitely bowling well. I think it was all about Mahendra Singh Dhoni's captaincy as well, which probably would have instructed the bowlers to get the pace of the ball after. And Dhoni, as you know, is a very good judge of the game. So what he was trying to do was probably given instructions to his wards that tried to take the pace of the ball. That's what precisely I thought the doctor's orders were obeyed to a T by the bowlers as they started doing it. Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers also could not force the pace, and they were the only principal scorers, with Virat Kohli making a good 50, but definitely under very tough conditions, one could say, as Kohli made 50 of 43 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. De Villiers making 39 of 36 deliveries, 4 4s in that, and that was a good partnership. From 46, it was a sort of a 80-run. One could say it was basically it was sort of an 80-run partnership 80-odd runs partnership that happened, which really binded the innings of the RCB. And after that, it was nothing to really talk about. Moeen Ali was dismissed for 2. Morris went for 2. Gurpreet was not out at 2. Washington Sundar not out on 5. 145 for 6 was what RCB put up on the board. And definitely, looking at the score, one felt that RCB had still done a good job, considering as to what happened the other day. So now Chennai Super Kings were chasing 146 to win the match. They started off with Rituraj Gaikwad du Plessis. And as you know, Rituraj Gaikwad has been in. I mean, he has been struggling. I mean, he had COVID. Then he was quarantined a bit, and he could not get his form back. He has been scoring very heavily in the Indian domestic scene, and one was really waiting and praying that Rituraj Gaikwad could get into form. But the approach, if you see, it was a similar approach that David Barristow and Johnny Barristow and David Warner had taken yesterday for SRH. They started going for the runs. Definitely it was well done. Du Plessis was along with him, along with Rituraj Gaikwad. And Rituraj Gaikwad, what one saw from Rituraj Gaikwad, is a very, very lit personality, in the sense he has a very lit figure. But he's not a person who does not take the attack to the bowler, coming down the wicket, a shimmy, and he lofts it over the infield. And he did it well, not only to the seamers, he also did it to the spinners. But he was the chief anchor today. Du Plessis also, Du Plessis, we all know that what he can do, and Du Plessis did his bit. And the power play, they tried to use the power play overs to the maximum advantage. Even though Washington Sundar was bowling, and Chris Morris and Mohammad Siraj. Now, as I said, the difference between these two teams, I'll come to that. But when they were bowling, I thought they were bowling a bit short, and probably, as I said, it was all about taking the pace of the ball. And that's what the Chennai Super Kings bowlers did best compared to the RCB bowlers. And the RCB bowlers suffered at the hands as the power play overs netted 46 runs for Du Plessis and Rituraj Gaikwad. So they got off to a real flyer, one could say, in the power play overs. And Du Plessis was a victim for 25, 13 deliveries, 2 fours and 2 sixes in that. But Rituraj Gaikwad was keeping it going. Ambati Rayudu joined. Ambati Rayudu also got into some good form there with 39 of 27, 3 fours and 2 sixes. But Rituraj Gaikwad, as I said, he was looking very good, and it would have been something which would have warmed the cockles of his heart, because he has come into the IPL with a purpose, but he has not been able to really get going. He has been losing his wicket, but this was the first time, and what a knock from Rituraj Gaikwad at the right time, because if Chennai Super Kings had to keep their hopes alive, they had to win the match. But it's quite a different thing that Rajasthan Royals beat Mumbai Indians, and Chennai Super Kings were thrown out of the Indian Premier League. But Rituraj Gaikwad, as I said, is a wonderful player. Nice movement. He has a nice follow through as well. And when he hit the sixes, it stands set. And his knock, he was not out on 65 at the end. 51 of 65, 51 deliveries, 4 fours and 3 sixes. And Gaikwad getting his first 50, as I said, would have been very pleased, and would have definitely pleased Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who was looking out for that big spark that he wanted. It came in the form of Rituraj Gaikwad. Dhoni was not out on 19 of 21 deliveries, 3 fours. Game over. The CSK had done it in 18.4 overs. A job well done. Now, as I said, the difference between both the teams, it was all about taking the pace of the ball on a pitch which was playing slow. Now, Washington Sundar, 4 overs, none for 27. Chris Morris, 3.4 overs, no made, and 1 for 36. Mohammad Siraj, the other day, we know what he did against KKR, but today he was totally blasted to the tune of 29 runs of his 2 overs. Chahal, 4 overs, 1 for 21. As usual, he did his job. Moeen Ali, 2 overs, 1 for 17. And Saini went for 19 of his 3. Now, well, dear fans, that's it. As far as this particular game was concerned, the game was done and dusted. Super Kings winning by wickets and probably waiting for the outcome. And probably Chennai Super Kings might have thought that, they might have thought that Mumbai Indians will definitely put it across the Rajasthan Royals. But it was, unfortunately, it was not to be. Now, let's have a look at the other game. Mumbai Indians taking on the Rajasthan Royals in Abu Dhabi. Now, Indians, this match, as I said, this is a game which Mumbai Indians, after putting on 195 for 5 on the board, which is a very tall total, and I thought it was a real par score, and for Rajasthan Royals to chase that total with absolute ease in the final bend, with Ben Stokes getting to his first century of the IPL, and also Samson getting a 50 after a long time. They won the match by 8 wickets. Let's have a look at the card. So Mumbai Indians, one was all looking forward to the battle between the ball and the bat, and that was Jofra Archer's ball and Mumbai Indians' bat. And definitely, Jofra Archer was definitely Quinton de Kock opened his account with a wonderful hook six. But Jofra Archer, what a smart bowler he is. He bowled a much fuller length ball, and Quinton de Kock trying to carve it. In fact, carved it through the inside edge onto his stumps, and Quinton de Kock was a goner of the very next delivery. Ishan Kishan struggled. It was not easy to get past Jofra Archer, as we know. So they had to really look at the other bowlers, Ankit Rajput, Kartik Tyagi. They went after the bowlers with Kishan scoring 37 of 36, 4 fours and 1 6. And Surya Kumar Yadav, as you know, what a wonderful cricketer he's turning out to be. I mean, he has a very good technique, a good temperament as well. And one of his sixes was a real treat to watch. One does not know how he did it. He actually sort of ramped a six over the long leg region. And that was a tremendous shot, I thought. So that was Surya Kumar Yadav for 40. Tiwari looked impressive today with 34 of 25, 4 fours and 1 6, the limited chances that he'd been getting. But Kieron Pollard, after hitting a six of Shreyas Gopal, was taken off the very next delivery by Shreyas Gopal by clean bowling him, as Pollard attempted a cut. In fact, he wanted to, it was a googly, and Pollard was on the back foot, and the ball went past the inside edge and rolled onto the stumps. But after that, it was Hardik Pandya at the crease. Hardik Pandya had the company of Saurabh Tiwari, but Hardik Pandya, we all know what he can do, what damage he can do to the bowlers. And at that time, when Pollard was out, the score had 101 for 4 in the 13th over with 7 overs left. And with the 7 overs left, but what was good about it was Hardik Pandya just played himself in for 3 overs. But after that, it was an absolute bomb blast, one could say, because what he did is in the last 4 overs, Mumbai Indians ransacked 74 runs, and Hardik Pandya was the chief hitter there. With he hit 4 sixes. The 4 full tosses bowled by Ankit Rajput disappeared into the crowd. So 4 sixes of that, and then he hit 3 sixes in the probably the end overs of Kartik Tyagi, and that was how Hardik Pandya finished not out on blistering 60 of just 21 deliveries, which included 7 sixes, which I talked about, and 2 boundaries. His brother Pandya, Krunal, was not out on 3. 195 for 5 definitely looked a very, very challenging score. If you look at the bowling, Archer 4 overs, 2 for 31. As you know, nobody can really get past Archer. Rajput was very, very costly. In fact, 4 overs, he went for 60 runs. Kartik Tyagi, 1 for 45. Shreyas Gopal, 4 overs, 2 for 30. Tewatia, 1 for 25. Now, this was 195 for 5. As I said, it was definitely above par score on this particular ground. But also Mumbai Indians struck early with Pattinson sending Robin Uthappa back to the pavilion for 13 of 11 balls with 2 fours. And Stephen Smith was bowled by Pattinson for 11, attempting a booming drive. And then it was left to Ben Stokes. But Ben Stokes, what one saw right from the word go, I mean, as soon as he came, in the first over itself, he hit Trent Boult for 16 runs. And definitely he had made the announcement. And we know that the score was a big score to chase. And definitely today, Ben Stokes got going as he does. And what a knock from Ben Stokes. It was a world-class knock because he started going after the bowlers. And when Ben Stokes hits the ball, it is like real caning of the bowlers. And that's what he precisely did. It was all studded with, he went on to his first century of the IPL. But what a way to bring it. He was the one who hit the winning stroke, the boundary. But he got some tremendous company. I mean, they were definitely in some bit of a bother at 44 for 2 in the 5th over. And then there was no looking back for the Rajasthan Royals as they went on to victory with a 152-run unbeaten partnership for the 3rd wicket. with a contribution from Ben Stokes being 107 unbeaten runs of just 60 deliveries, which included 14 fours and 3 sixes. At the other end, it was Sanju Samson. We all know I'm very happy for Sanju Samson because he has been struggling after those initial burst of form that he showed in the IPL. But I'm very glad to see that Sanju Samson really showed that class once again with some clean hitting and some languid hitting at times, as Sanju Samson finished with an unbeaten 54 of 31 deliveries, which included 4 fours and 3 sixes. Game over, 196 for 2, a huge victory, a big victory for the Rajasthan Royals. And what it meant was that Chennai Super Kings would have been probably watching this match, would have been very, very upset, very, very disappointed, as they became the first team to be out of the Indian Premier League, out of the, I would say, not out of the Indian Premier League, out of the reckoning for the playoffs. So there is one team which is lesser now, even though Chennai Super Kings won the match today. Well, if you look at the bowling there, Bolt definitely was really given real bashing. 4 overs, no maiden, 2 for 4, none for 40. Pattinson was much costlier than Bolt, 3.2 overs, no maiden, 240. Bumrah tried, but again, Bumrah also went for runs, 4 overs, none for 38. Krunal Pandya's 2 overs was taken for 20. Pollard bowled 2 overs for 18. Chahar, who normally is a good bowler, also got a real tap from the Stokes and Samson, as 3 overs, none for 36. Ben Stokes, we all know who was the man of the match. No prizes for guessing. Ben Stokes was duly the man of the match. Well, dear fans and subscribers, the Chennai Super Kings are out of business as far as IPL 2020 is concerned. And tomorrow's game is going to be very crucial. The Indian Premier League and RCB has lost an opportunity here, because I think Delhi Daredevils and Mumbai Indians on the top. But Mumbai Indians today, after losing, definitely not a good game for them. But one thing that I would say, tomorrow's game, so every game which is coming up now is going to be crucial. As tomorrow, the game which is coming up is going to be a real humdinger, according to me. It's Kings XI Punjab taking on the Kolkata Knight Riders. And as you know, both are in the race. And we know Kings XI Punjab are roaring like lions right now after 4 wins over the last 4 games. And they would definitely be eagerly looking out for their 5th consecutive win. Well, dear fans and subscribers, another beautiful game lies ahead tomorrow, which is coming up, and that is being played at Sharjah. So Kolkata Knight Riders will be probably thinking that Andre Russell is fully fit. They already have Sunil Narine in form now, and with shorter boundaries, Andre Russell is the best bet for KKR if they want to really hit the Kings XI Punjab hard tomorrow. Well, dear fans and subscribers, it was a pleasure bringing you this cricket show. Hope you all loved this broadcast. And I know, dear friends and subscribers, I do see there's one of a very good cricket fan of mine by the name Kritash Negi. Thank you, my friend. You subscribe to my YouTube. I also subscribe to you. But, well, I know that you've been posting some questions, but on the broadcast, I wouldn't be able to do anything. But thank you. I really like your interest. I like your passion, your sort of a suggestion to help me. Well, keep it going, Negi. And, as I said, pass on this, if at all you like it and you want to really give me some help. The best help that you could do is to popularize my show. Just tell everybody about this cricket show. No problem, Negi. I just see I'm not able to type anything, but I do see your thank you for your passion. Yes, I am definitely an extremely passionate cricket lover. And don't worry, you will never be short of excitement when it comes to cricket when I am on the cricket show. Okay, Negi, that's it. With this being said, I am definitely going to bring down the curtain on today's cricket show. But as I said, you can all have a look at my cricket Reddit. I am active on cricket Reddit. I have my own cricket website, www.cricket-status.com. You can also go on to my cricket Twitter as well to look at my cricket tweets. Time permitting, I'll be doing that. Well, dear fan subscribers, let me not take any of your time. And it has been a real pleasure bringing you this broadcast. And I would like to say goodbye for today. Thank you. And hopefully I won't be, as you know, as I'm having my office chores and home chores. Unfortunately, I would love to come and talk on the IPL during the weekdays, but it becomes very difficult. but nevertheless, I definitely come on the weekends. Well, dear fan subscribers, again, a pleasure bringing you this broadcast with all the overwhelming support that I've been getting. Thank you very much once again, folks, and I hope to see you all as and when I reappear on my cricket show, Cricket Happenings. Thank you.